So I was supposed to be having another recording or video out, but when you procrastinate and you get very busy, you tend to mess up the schedule a little bit. So let's get into today's conversation. Traditional versus digital art, and not like this debate as to which one's better, because in my opinion, if you do digital, that's cool. If you do traditional, also cool. Both are fine. No problems with that. But have you ever noticed that when you stick with one for a certain period of time and you move to the other, your style sort of kind of changes? Because that's what I've been experiencing, and I was like really curious as to like what might be happening or like if this is a serious thing, and it is. Say I sort of drew a version of the current piece traditionally first. That's where I sort of got the concept idea and a bit more detail, I guess, as to what I wanted. And I drew it. It's fine. I like the piece traditionally speaking. The background is a bit plain, but I can deal with that. And yeah, overall, I really like this piece. It's one of my favorite in the sketchbook, and the sketchbook is like coming to an end too, which is super exciting. I can't wait for another sketchbook tour, and it's in less than a year's time, so can't complain. Anyways, so I thought it'd be really cool to sort of do like a digital version of it and see how that fares. And also, I've been wanting to get better at digital art as well. So, this was like sort of an opportunity to brush up on that skill, play around with brushes and like a technique, and sort of figure out if you guys might like the traditional style versus digital style of this piece. In saying that though, I think you guys might also experience it where your digital is slightly different than your traditional. Personally, for me, when it comes to my own style and like pieces, I really liked the traditional versions better than the digital versions. I don't know. I think it's just I have more control and the texture of the paper comes into play when you do it traditionally versus on digital mediums, especially depending on your programs, because I know programs are actually getting a lot better in matching textures and like brush types when it comes to like new updates and whatnot. So that's fine too. Different apps, different things. But yeah, so like I just prefer traditional mediums a bit more control with pencil and paper. I don't know. I think it's also the root where I came from because I started off as a traditional artist from like grade 9 high school art class, and it sort of like stuck with me. And I also like working in like graphite charcoal, and I think those are mostly the major mediums there. If I'm talking weird, by the way, it's because I have a canker right under my tongue and it's bothersome. Yay! It hurts. It's a little ouchy. But anyways, so that's probably why I like traditional mediums. And on top of that, because I work in like a lot of grayscale, it's just a bit better. No fuss, and it's really simple and easy to get to. Although I am trying to incorporate more colors into my sketchbook and doing more traditional mediums that are colorful. But in saying that, like digital art is a different ballgame because your color theory or your knowledge of color theory also comes into play on affecting what your piece will look like in the future and how you approach, even like for traditional too, but more specifically digital, how you approach drawing will also sort of affect how the outcome turns out to be. For example, this one was like in grayscale, and I think I did like a whole bunch of like overlays to match colors and stuff. And then in the end of the day, I sort of just dunked it all in red. Color theory, not my strongest suit, and I didn't really understand what was going on, if I'm being honest. So yeah, my usual thing is like just to use line art and then go in with color, but I don't know why. I just change it up. I think it's because I think, oh, in traditional I use a lot of grayscale, so I should be good at like figuring out values and form that way, but it's tricky for me to do it digitally, but you can't learn something if you don't try it. So, yeah, if you wanted to try digital medium and your iPads or tablet or whatever it is sitting off to the side, try it out. see how you feel. And also, like, if it looks bad compared to your traditional art, that's okay. There's a bit of a learning curve when it comes to switching from traditional to digital art as well. And then on top of that, like vice versa, if you are a digital artist, try going traditional. Try doing a piece of yours traditionally and then see how that feels and stuff. I don't know. I think it's just a really weird debate to have, like traditional versus digital, because everyone has their own preferences. And even then, like you could argue what kind of medium is best, whether you like painting with like acrylics, gouache, watercolors, or even just using alcohol markers, pencils, pens, you know? It's a bit of an interesting debate, I guess. I want to say silly, but I don't know. People are entitled to their opinions when it comes to those things. And keep in mind, there might be just something you prefer better than the other. Both communities, traditional versus digital, has strong, like, communities within them. So like it's not like you'll be rivaling or something like that. You can't get along with someone. It's not like you won't find someone in that those like categories, but like still, it's just I think a silly debate to have whether one is better than the other. It's all a preference thing and there's like pros and cons to each cuz traditionally I feel like I have more control and you could get like paper like screen protectors, but the stylus still feels so smooth and also you can ruin the stylus if you keep using the paper like screen protector. That's what I've heard, by the way. But yeah, it's just it feels like there's a bit more control in it and a bit more texture still. uh and it's just like connecting. I think my brain is connected to doing traditional art and just the feeling it brings me rather than digital art, which is no problem. You can still get a lot of texture if you find the right brushes. It's very adaptable. You can make like so many different sizes of canvas and stuff, and then you don't have to buy the canvas. And then like so many access to different colors, different like strokes and pen sizes and all those things. And I could see why, you know, people would like it. And also if you mess up like digitally, you could like undo easily and you could just like liquefy things. So that makes it a lot easier to work with in a way. But both take skills to learn. So I'm not going to sit here and trash talk one or the other because to be honest, I like both for their different reasons and whatnot. For example, animating is a lot easier to do digitally. I've been using Krita for that. That's where all these emote guys have been coming from. Emote guys? I guess. Animation guys have been coming from. So I've been enjoying it as well. But yeah. So let me know what you guys like to work with or prefer to work with yourselves. If you're a traditional artist, what kind of medium even, graphite, charcoal, paints. Let me know. And then if you're a digital artist, I guess what program you use would be helpful. So if anybody is looking to get into drawing digitally, then they have an idea as to what program they might want to look towards or like what might be common amongst other people. And then medium wise, you know, they might be inspired to try a different traditional medium than they usually work with. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to me rant. Oh my gosh, yeah, I had a different video planned, but instead we're doing this one because time crunch. Yay! But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all stay safe, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!